Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio. This is our daily program, an opportunity for us to be here together with one another, to stop for a few minutes what we are doing, our busy activities throughout the day, to really be together in a prayerful moment, reading a message, elevating ourselves. I'm sure as we are going through right now, this very hard and a transition times on earth, sometimes in our daily lives, it might be hard to feel this connection with God. We are either busy in our homes with our families or working from home, or those who are out there in the front lines of the pandemic, working in so many different sectors to make sure that our communities are safe, they're receiving the treatment and the basic service that they need. So all of us here, whenever you are really invited to join us in this current of higher vibrations. You might ask yourself, what can you do, right? You might be in your homes, not being able to go outside. And sometimes we feel so powerless, right? Not being able to really do quote unquote so much, right? But prayer is a very, very powerful tool. We have learned with Kardec, we have learned with André Luiz throughout his books, with Emmanuel, and so many other benevolent and kind guides and mentors who have come to show us the power of prayer. And of course, our dear Master Jesus, who share with us deep prayer, right? That touches our hearts and elevates ourselves. So we invite all of you to join us. If you can, whenever you are, it's an opportunity for you to stop what you're doing if you can for a few minutes, find a quiet place, whenever you are, and join us in this beautiful current. So in order to get us started, we're going to open with an initial prayer before we go to our reading for today. And I see many friends here joining. That's great. I'm going to make sure our systems here are working. Perfect. I think everything is working. So if you can right now, close your eyes and let's raise our thoughts to dear God. Father, we are so thankful for this reincarnation, for the opportunity to be here after so many lives of mistakes, of making decisions without knowing. But this is a very special reincarnation because this reincarnation, Father, maybe for the first time after millennia, we have the opportunity to get to know about your eternal laws, to open our hearts and our eyes to focus what is really important, to undo the shackles of the past, focusing on the good and the beauty of this opportunity. We ask you that in this prayerful moment of today, you can give us an opportunity to rethink our choices, rethink our lives, and connect deeper with you to receive the treatment that we need, to listen to the teachings of the spiritual guides and mentors, and most especially to raise our thoughts and our minds to connect with you and share the blessings of this hour with those who cannot be here with us in prayer, those who are at this very moment suffering physically, emotionally, and spiritually, those who are working in the front lines of this pandemic in all sectors of our society, the mothers and fathers who are readjusting their lives to fulfill their daily tasks and take care of their children, to those who are in hospitals, prisons, nursing homes, and those who feel abandoned and alone at this moment in both realms of life, that the vibrations and the good thoughts and feelings reach their hearts, and they feel the kind touch of Mother Mary enveloping them with her blanket of hope, whispering in their ears, "This shall also pass." And with much gratitude in our hearts, we ask you your permission to start these prayerful moments of today, and so be it. So today, friends, we have, I think, a very, very special message. It's a short message by Emmanuel, but I think he brings us a very important topic for our discussion and our study here and our reflections afterwards. So we're studying this book right here, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, psychographed by our dear Chico Xavier from the Spirit Emmanuel. And if you have this book in your home, we're reading chapter 56, and it's titled Prophets. Jesus said in Luke 12:20, "Now, who is going to get what you amassed for yourself?" Within all human groups beats the concern with making money. The spirit of profit reaches the simplest areas of life. Children who barely left infancy display a desire to selfishly accumulating things. Nowadays, mothers abandon their homes to babysitters for several hours of the day in order to enjoy the lucrative lifestyle. In this way, most people turn their evolutionary progress into a stress-filled race. Beyond the grave, the final stop for all who have left the cradle, the truth is waiting and asks, "So, what have you brought with you?" The unfortunate ones will answer that they have accumulated physical assets with which they intended to ensure that their own and their loved ones' own peace of mind. However, when their achievements are examined, they found out that such victories are crushing defeats instead. They hold no value for the soul, nor do they bear the stamp of lasting goods. When they realize this fact, such travelers look back and feel cold. They are inexplicably attached to the results of everything they had accumulated while on earth. Their troubled conscience is filled with clouds, and the voice of the gospel resounds in their ears. Poor you, your profits turn out to be tragic losses. Now, who is going to get what you amassed for yourself? Friends, as I said, a short message, but a straightforward message from Emmanuel to all of us, reminding us how we are living on earth right now. If we look back in the preface of this book, we'll see that Emmanuel brought this book to us in 1948. So that's over 60 years ago, right? And this message is still so current right now in our daily lives because it talks about the situation in our planet right now. How since the cradle we are raised, our society shows us that we should be focusing on accumulating things. But these things, as we all know, are not eternal things, but are passing. Money, material gain, prosperity, titles, degrees, fame, social status, right? But what happens next? Our lives, if we think about it, even if we live to 100 years, compared to knowing that we are eternal beings, right? It goes by like that, right? Like really quickly, like we close and open and close our eyes, and there we are in our deathbed, if we have, right? If we have that. And then what we're gonna ask ourselves, because it will be in our conscience. Yes, the kind and loving spirits will be there, but our conscience is gonna ask ourselves what we have done, right, with the value, time, and resources that God has provided to us. Were we, like in this message, accumulating the material things of the world And then we're going to ask ourselves, who is going to get, right, what we accumulated for? Even if we say we are passing that on to our children, to our family members, I'm sure we can all see in our society, people pass away, and what happened? Siblings are fighting for inheritance. Family members are trying to decide who is going to stay with what, and you thought that you were helping your family. But I think it's a message for all of us, and I myself am asking, as we're going through this pandemic, we know we need to think on the positive, right? We need to think on the good. So why not take this precious opportunity that we're having? Unfortunately, did we need to get to this point when we need a pandemic to show us what is really important and what is essential in our lives? And I think from the, smallest thing that I know, I think we can clearly see that one of the most important things we're being shown is the importance of being home with our families, right? Because we are being, in certain ways, asked in by the situations to be there in our homes. And one of the most important points in this message, Emmanuel reminds us about the mission of parents and parenthood. And Kardec asked that question. And the mentors and the spirits answer that the mission of parents is to lead their children to God. It's not to provide them with a beautiful present in their birth or to throw a huge birthday party or to make sure that they go to the best university, right? They could have answered in so many different ways, but what they said doesn't require any material things. It just require an open heart to lead our children to God. Whenever we are parents, educators, uncles, aunts, we all have a role with the children of the world, not only parents. I'm sure we all have children in our families. We are together with them in the society. So we need to make sure we're leading them to God and focus what is very important in our lives. So the message to us, friends, I think is very deep and very powerful, as our friend Carol said here, inviting all of us to think about ourselves, because with this pandemic, and we don't know, right? We don't know when God will ask us to return. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, a week, a month, years, 50 years from now, right? We don't know. But we know for certain that we will be asked to go back, because that's the real life, right? What we are here is passing. Our real life is in the spiritual realm. And then our conscience is going to ask ourselves, what have we done? And to have that opportunity, right? Think about this pandemic as an opportunity to renew yourself, to reborn again, right? Inside and in reincarnation, right? An opportunity to really hit the reset button and focus and decide what we want to focus in our lives. So we hope we can reflect on this. We can continue studying ourselves with humility, right? Knowing that we are progressing together, we're learning, and that's why we need to continue studying and learning so that we can then make the right choices, right? In our lives, science shows to us that we make the wrong choices because we don't know it. So how, right, we can get to know? You might be asking yourself, Daisy, how can I get to know, right? I really, what we can recommend to you is, let's study more. Kardec brought us beautiful, beautiful books. Go back to the Spirit's book. Go back to, the Gospel according to Spiritus. Any books, so that we have this gift, this treasure, and sometimes just reading a message like we read today, a short message that really make us rebalance and redirect ourselves. So thank you so much. We're gonna finalize with the final prayer. I see Nora Brazil and so many friends here, Narciso, Ana Rios, Paula, and Angelita, Danielle, and so many others. Thank you so much for joining in this. And it has been truly a great opportunity, right, Nora? It's such a blessing, this reincarnation. So, friends, let's now thank God for this blessed reincarnation. It is a blessing to be here. It doesn't matter what we are going through. Let's focus on the blessings in our lives. I'm sure we can point out many. So choose one today. Choose one beautiful blessing that you have, and might be to be here in this prayerful moment. How many don't have access to this or don't know about it? They don't know about spiritism, or they don't have a religion, right? How many are there suffering? And we're here, right? So right there is an opportunity for us to be grateful and thankful for. So with that, we're gonna finalize with our final prayer. Again, we ask you to join us, raising our thoughts. Let's imagine now that we are walking in a beautiful, beautiful landscape, a garden of flowers. Look at the beautiful colors of the flowers, their smell, their texture. And as you walk through this garden of flowers, you see a beautiful sunset in the horizon, and the rays of light that we see shining upon us. The sun seems to get even brighter at the end of the day, and the rays of light paint the sky with so many beautiful colors. And we feel that from the beautiful sky, showers of healing light fall upon you. And as you feel the touch of this beautiful light touching yourself, you see our dear Master Jesus by your side. And embracing you in a kind and benevolent hug. He tells you, my dear child of God, you are love, you are light, and you are joy of living. Today you have a unique opportunity to reset your lives, rebalance yourself, and continue on this blessed path. Because this reincarnation is unique. You are blessed, and you have been given the opportunity to recalibrate yourself and start again. Take my hand and I will guide you today and always. And feeling in our hearts the gratitude for Jesus himself coming to take our hands and guide us in this journey. We thank him for being our guide and model. Dear Master Jesus, thank you for giving us planet Earth, a beautiful and blessed planet, and as the governor of our planet, you know the reason for everything that we're going through. And even in the toughest times of this pandemic, you show us the opportunity to rethink our lives, to decide on the priorities of this reincarnation, and to rebalance ourselves as we progress and embrace a world of regeneration, of beautiful achievements and progress. And we ask you, dear Master, to guide and protect those who are in this very moments in deep suffering, in hospitals, at home, refugee camps, prisons. We pray whenever they feel your beautiful embrace, and that those who are working diligently for our planet in both realms of life can receive our gratitude and your protection. And with much gratitude in our hearts, we ask your permission to close these prayerful moments of today. And so be it. Thank you so much, dear friends, for joining us. We invite you to join us again tomorrow at 6 p.m. here in Kardec Radio for our daily prayer. And that whenever you are, you can continue feeling the beautiful vibrations and continue raising our thoughts throughout the day today and the evening. Have a blessed day, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.